Pisces. Thanks for dropping in with me. I am here to do your transit read around Pluto in Capricorn and what challenge is being issued to you by that particular transit, what empowerment is on offer, and what key do you need to gain in order to get to the other side of that heavy door that Pluto has put in your path, that is what divides you between then and soon to be, your rebirth energy that wants to come in for you on the other side, as well as what kind of magic it weaves into your life. But before I can get into that, I got a real heavy download that came in. And I was wondering at first why it came in, and then it made sense. It's directly related to the transit of Saturn in your sign, which currently you're getting a little bit of a reprieve. It will be going back into your sign after November 15th, okay? It will be going back into your sign for quite a stay. So you've really been dealing with this sort of Saturn return kind of energy, right? But this download came in regarding Shankella Robinson and her ongoing case. Now, the FBI has closed the investigation, but the case is still open, and there has been a warrant issued, but there's holdup in extradition. And I got this download coming in around that it has something to do with dirty money. I heard specifically extortion involved in this situation. I also got the message of 52 pickup, that the house of cards will fall. Something will be sorted out, and there will be justice served. And it's directly related to this particular transit in Aquarius, okay? So currently Saturn's retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is the house of networking, communication, community. And Shankella Robinson's family has been extremely active in getting justice for Shankella. And it's interesting because as this was coming in and I was preparing your decks, and this download came in around this card flying out of the deck. Defend to the end the worthwhile. And we have the number 23 here. I'm getting all kinds of sentience. So I feel like there's some major break in this case. It comes very unexpected. It comes suddenly, and it moves something forward in this case where the case is kind of like been in a holding pattern. It hasn't been able to move forward because of these holdups in relation to extradition. But I do have that there's something that will sort of come undone here that allows a big push forward. And this is going to get Shankella and her family the justice that they deserve. And it's lining up for, it came through as March 25th, 2025. Ooh, I didn't have March 25th written down. I only had 2025, so maybe there's something key about that. That would be double 7, 8, 9. That would be double sevens. That would be double sevens. Yes. And with the third month, 10, something coming to a culmination. Okay. I don't know. Circle that date. There might be some news that breaks around that time about something really moving forward in a big, bold way. But I feel like there's been so much hardship and so much grief wanting to see resolution for the family and all those who love Shankella. And if you're not familiar with the story, you should, learn about the story, because it's a story that needs to be recognized, and it's something that does need attention about the way there can be so much inability to be able to really how can I put this? So much inability sometimes to trust those that you feel are closest to you. And this real sense of betrayal around this. that does need to be aired out and resolved. Also, the way the distortions come through on social media, and how there can be such a competitive vibe that it can pit people against each other in incredibly destructive ways, and it can cause a lot of harm. And I do feel like there's something that needs to shift here in the collective consciousness around looking over at what somebody else has got, and fixating on that. There's something that really needs to shift here, because especially with social media, this kind of energy is sort of become very rampant and out of control. And there's a lot of destruction and just very evil influences that come as a result of it, I have to say. And Shankela is one of those examples of somebody who had a big light to shine. And because others wanted to blot that out, they coveted, a life was lost. A family lost a daughter, a loved one. And there's something here that does deserve a voice. And that's Shankela. She deserves a voice. And so I do feel like this is coming through. Look at the warrior energy of the great horned owl coming through too. I feel like ancestors are on this. I feel like there's been a lot of prayers sent up to the ancestors around this. The ancestors are on this. It will be defended to the end. And you may be tired. I'm getting so much sentience. You may be tired because you feel like you've been fighting really hard and you're like screaming into the wind and nobody's been listening and nobody's been paying attention. But the wake-up call is coming. So just hold tight. The energy was just coming through so strongly. And it's directly related to this particular transit with Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, which kicked off on June 29th and is going until November 15th. So I feel like once this kind of like the connection points are made with the essential breaks in the case, the information that's needed, I feel like there's more that's going to be revealed in this case that's also going to add different dimensions to it that weren't seen before. I just heard somebody coming forward. So there could be somebody coming forward that realizes that something does need to be defended to the end. It is worthwhile to share what they know, okay? So there might be some kind of break coming through in regard to this. But I feel like the big push forward comes after Saturn goes back into Pisces. And that's because Pisces is the house of karma. And it's also the house of hidden enemies. And I do feel like there is a hidden enemy in this situation. And that is perhaps what's going to be revealed. And it's going to be the thing that sends this house of cards toppling. Okay. I had to bring it in. It came in so strongly. I thought it was unusual, because Shankela is a Capricorn. I had to look it up. I just was wondering, why would this come in with Pisces? And I was like, well, Pisces is the house of karma. But it made sense once I, looked into the transit to see what was going on with that, because I instantly made that connection. Okay, so 9:10 on the clock to 9:11. Okay, there's something here that is getting completed for that family. It's going to take a little more time, but where you've had your faith, keep your faith strong. I do feel like something is pushing forward here, and I wouldn't put it out there if I didn't feel like I got compelled. I had to bring it in, and it was just nagging at me. So opening up in a strong way. I didn't want to necessarily start diving into your read until I cleared out that. And let me just sort of just drop in a second. Anything else? I don't know why, but I'm seeing something about yellow roses. It might be a symbol for somebody. It might mean something to somebody. Sometimes those who passed on, they send roses to those who are still grieving as a way to comfort and to send love. For some reason, the roses are coming through very specifically as yellow roses. So that might have special meaning for somebody. Okay, so let's dive into it, Pisces. Okay, thank you for holding that space to open that up. I felt it was really important and I had to bring it through. All right, so we are looking at all placements for Pisces, or if you have a strong placement in the 12th house. Also, if you happen to have Virgo rising, that makes you a Pisces descendant. We are going to dive right in here and we're going to look at what is the challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces. I'm using the Tarot of the Dragons here to open up this to see what is the challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces. What is the challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces? All right, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. To restrain oneself, where you feel really fired up. You want to take a very strong action and you want to move quickly. I got like itchy feet here, hot feet, like you feel like you got to take action and you got to take it swiftly, but it's in reverse. In other words, it's sort of like Saturn coming in and saying, hey, you gotta cool your jets here for some reason. Okay, let's see what's going on with this Pisces. What is this challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces, Spirit? What is this challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces, Spirit? Let's see if anything else wants to come out here. Okay. Comes in the reverse again. We have Page of Swords in reverse. There's something here you're wanting to take quick action to transform. There's something that you have been strategizing here. You've been thinking about this a lot. You're trying to handle a matter very swiftly that cannot be rushed. That's what I'm getting. To do so is reckless, and you're being asked to sit with the discomfort of the impulse to do whatever this is that you feel highly compelled to do at this time. And you're being asked to stay put. You're not ready to take flight with this yet. Something is not ready yet. It's still in its chrysalis stage. All right? What is this in relation to? This is in relation to some kind of, it feels like some kind of emotional offer that wants to be made, and it looks like it wants to be made by you. And with the Fool in reverse here, this is not something that's ready to go. You're being asked to hold up here. Wait a minute. You need to get a clear view of a situation. Let me turn this right side up here. There's a third element in play in this situation that needs to be addressed here, that you need to be mindful of here in order for there to be some kind of cooperation. This energy is interesting here. I have to say, you see these three bears, right? And here's this dragon with all of this fish that's sort of luring these three bears in. They're saying there's going to be something cooperative here or something beneficial here. But I feel like there's a third element in this situation that's being sort of underestimated. It's sort of being viewed as inconsequential, or that's not a big deal, or it's easy to get around this. But I'm hearing the devil's in the details in this situation. You should hold up here for a minute. Let me get some more details here. What is this coming in for Pisces? Give me more details about this challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces. Spirit, what is this challenge that Pluto in Capricorn is issuing to Pisces? One more round, and then I'm going to take that as that is the challenge. Okay. It has something to do with your desire for some kind of personal fulfillment. What you see as a wish Okay, with the Nine of Cups here, there's some tower you're trying to keep from falling here. You're trying to keep something together. You know that there's something coming here that's going to shake the stability of something you've been building, and you're feeling challenged to try to hold it together here. Now, how this is coming through hinges on this card here, and it's the Chariot in reverse. Look at that. Okay, you could be dealing with a Cancer in this situation. We definitely have your energy on the board. We also have Aries energy, Aquarian energy, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. There's something here that you're looking to take a strong action, employing some kind of strategy you've fixated on here in order to keep a tower from falling. There's something about this that to you is wish fulfillment, but this action is basically being opposed. It looks like it's being opposed. And there's a need to stay put because you're underestimating a third element here. You're underestimating either its strength, its ability to make something completely unravel, its importance in this situation. It could even be an opponent in this situation, I have to say. It came through like that at 1711, right? Yes, there's something you're wanting to manifest. You're wanting to bring it into alignment. But it's sort of like I'm hearing you got to trust the timing of spirit to reveal certain things to you that you are not aware of right now. This is some kind of hidden danger, hidden complication, underestimated challenger in this situation that could prove really detrimental for you, I have to say, if you rush ahead with this. So you're being asked to restrain, temper yourself at a time when you feel really compelled. Like there's something about this that feels very antsy in you. Very antsy, like I got to do it now or else everything's going to come undone. 1808, I know I'm on the right track with that. It's trying to avoid some tower from falling. All right, a preemptive strike. Let me see, cut of the deck, and then we're going to move on to our next query here. This could have something to do with an Aquarius. It definitely has something to do with what you feel like is your destiny, or it's some wish you have here. Yep, and it's very close to you. It's very close to you with the High Priestess there. And so I do feel like I'm looking at this dragon, and this dragon looks like a little bit intense, I have to say. Like there's something very intensely that you're focusing on here with this wish fulfillment. And it might be requiring you to really find your balance here. It's interesting. Notice the claws are only on the white pillar and not on the opposite pillar here. Maybe you're really reaching for the light in a situation where you're feeling challenged because you feel more compelled, perhaps, to act out of the shadow. That might be what's provoking you a little bit more. It's sort of like, can you temper the shadow with the light? Right? That's something that's coming through here pretty strongly. I feel like that is it. That is your challenge at this time, this tempering energy. Can you temper your impulsivity? Can you temper your passion before it becomes rage? This is sort of the way it's coming through, right? I feel like you're reaching for the light right now, right? That's how it's coming through. What's behind this? I'm curious what's behind this tower that you're trying to say. Let's see. Together. Death. Wow. Okay. So yes, there's something here that's meant to come to a close. There is something here that is meant to be released. And it will come. There's no averting that. I mean, we have two major arcanas here. Two major arcanas. It's like a desire to move forward with something, to try to keep it together, and yet you're clearly being told no with the Chariot in reverse. There's no Chariot that can save this. Not going in this direction. And you know, a lot of the signs are getting these reroute messages. It is coming in, okay? It is. People are ending up heading in different directions than they were anticipating. It's rolling out right now. It is that time. And we are right in the middle of two eclipses. And we're also right in the middle of the journey to the next mirrored moon, which is in Libra. And that's, you know, your mirrored moon with your full moon that came in on the 17th. So there's a lot playing out right now. And these eclipses that have been coming in, the next ones in Libra on the 2nd of October, they have been lining up with a period of time that goes all the way back to 2008. There's a lot that's clearing out here, and there's a lot that's being revealed as well. And in addition to that, they have been impacting the nodes of destiny. Your full moon just eclipsed the north node of Aries. And with the solar eclipse, the Ring of Fire, coming up on October 2nd, that Libra new moon, there's going to be the eclipsing energy of the south node. So once we get to your mirrored full moon, which is the completion of that lunar cycle you kicked off with your full moon, on the 17th with the super moon in Libra, the hunter's moon, that's when 2222, everything comes into an alignment. There's a clear understanding of the way forward at that time. It's like something becomes crystal clear. Something is very evident, and the way forward is seen, right? So now is the time to release, let go, trust. What's meant to fall will fall. If something's meant to be held together, it will. But you're being asked to like give over your trust right now, and allow this to sort of ride out the way it's supposed to. And that may be particularly challenging. Let's just go ahead and light a little bay leaf here just for a clearing out of all of the old cycles, everything that holds us back, everything that keeps us from moving forward into the transformation that's needed, into the empowerment that's needed, because certainly we have Pisces in play for the collective. There's been a lot going down for all the signs in terms of Pisces, with Saturn holding down that terrain, okay? And there's more to come. We may be getting a little break from it right now, but it's sort of like those storms have been washing things away in our lives, and we have this space here where we can just gracefully sort of like clear the slate and allow the new energy to come in. So let's just call in the new empowering energy. Let's call in the keys we need to open up the doors that lead us to our empowerment, that leads to the beauty of magic weaving through our lives when we're in harmony with the natural cycles and ebbs and flows of our life, where we don't resist the endings, so we can make room for all the beautiful new beginnings that want to come in. Just felt the need for that. Felt the need for that. It was coming in pretty strongly, okay? Also with the heaviness of the opening message as well, I do feel like there's some heaviness that's being cleared out here. There might even be that feeling like I need justice in a situation, or this doesn't feel fair. I need something to be balanced out here. There's something about really having your trust challenged at this time, as well as your ability to kind of keep centered on the light so you don't get like sucked down into the shadowy realm again. Yes, because there is something coming in here for you with the Three of Wands. Do you see trust, letting go, soft, open palms? Goddess loves to feel those soft, open palms. Creator loves to feel those soft, open hands. There's allowing yourself to be covered as you are guided forward and really taking your hands off the reins. And see, I think that's why you had this energy coming in here with the Chariot in reverse. Maybe right now you're really got a firm grip on those reins and you're being asked to let go, because the Chariot normally does not move forward with reins, okay? In traditional tarot, the Chariot has the rider just sort of sitting there, you know? How that Chariot moves forward is a bit of a mystery. It's beyond man's control. It moves forward by a greater hand steering our course than our own. Okay, some call that God, some call it Atman, some call it just the mystery of life. But it's interesting that it came in reverse for you here, and see this figure is holding the reins in this deck, and it's sort of like saying, no, this is about you really like releasing the reins here and allowing yourself to be guided forward. There is something coming in for you. Right now, things are in a highly mutable state. Nothing is really taking any kind of like solidified form in your life. It's all like a great big question mark hanging over you at this time. That's because you're actively involved in the construction of your new chapter right now. It's all going down. Like you are, you know, designing the blueprint for the future you're going to be stepping into. So there is also that importance of maintain sort of keeping your focus on the light so you don't taint your plans for the future, even if you feel like you're not planning because you don't know what's going to happen. You are. Every moment with every choice we make, we're planning. It did seem a little plotting and planning with this opening energy here that needs to be overcome. Maybe there needs to be more radical acceptance of the flow, even when the flow feels like a little chaotic, okay? There's something here that you're meant to do. It's going to take a great effort. You may feel it even is going to take a miracle, but I do feel like you're going to be supported in this. And there is protection here, okay, from those who would oppose you. But in order for you to move forward, you're going to have to let go and trust. So I feel like right off the bat, it's sort of saying trust is one of your keys. Okay, let's just shuffle this a few more times. I shuffled all these decks before I started, but I'll shuffle a few more times here. What is the key that Pisces needs in order to open up the heavy door of initiation into the rebirth cycle that Pluto in Capricorn has presented to them? What is the key that Pisces needs to open this door? What is the key that Pisces needs to open this door? It's the Three of Wands again, only in reverse. Okay, you need that key so you can open up your true door of opportunity. And the key is you got to let go. You got to let go. You got to have faith. I feel like your faith, your trust is being really, really like rocked right now. Okay, let's see. What is this? What is this key that Pisces needs to open the heavy door that Pluto has presented to them? The moon, divine revelation reveals messages, has the power to destroy. Okay, so there could be something, okay, remember the devil's in the details. There's something I feel you need to come across here that will uncover what you need to destroy a particular influence that's been very obstructive. This is something that's been working against you. Now, be mindful of sometimes that's an influence within us, right? There's something here that will be revealed to you. And it's, ooh, it totally went like blacked out on this end. It's cloaked right now. This is something you haven't come across yet. And it was 30:30 on the clock here. Yes, there's something you're going to uncover in a message. It's going to be a divine revelation. Whatever this is, it has the power to destroy what has been a very obstructive, unjust, and it's coming through as evil influence in your life. I have to say, that's how it's coming through. Could you be trying to keep something together that actually is the very thing that is keeping you in this state of confusion and illusion? And maybe all you need is the confirmation of a message, something being revealed, somebody outing this to you that's going to give you a revelation that allows you finally to sort of get beyond this illusion or confusion, or maybe even seeing a situation or a particular individual through like a little bit of haze of fantasy. That's how it's coming out. Tell me about this message. High Priestess, okay? There's something you've sensed here before. There's something you've sensed here before. You've already had questions about this. And if you follow your hunch on this, okay? If you follow your hunch on this, it will get you what you need to finally close off a cycle. Give me some more information. What is this message that Pisces is going to receive here? It's their key that opens up this door of initiation. Because there is this sense of you might be trying to keep something together that really is meant to fall. Yeah, again, there's the message of needing to have restraint. It says mental force protects against sorrows and illness. So there's something here you're having to really master. I heard mastermind, okay? So it's instead of like being a mastermind in a situation, like plotting and acting all this strategizing, it's more about mastering the impulse to have to control a situation, I feel, because something's going to be revealed to you. It has something to do with a Knight of Cups, right? This is some kind of like emotional advancement here. And it has something to do with changing your perception of a situation. It gives you a revelation. And it reveals something hidden to you. It's echoing it here. And this is going to change the way you move forward. You're going to recognize that by holding your horses, so to speak here, and exerting that mental force to refrain from taking an action, that you actually come across something that puts you in a more empowering position. But if you rush, it could really be your undoing, I have to say. It's kind of the way it's coming in here. We do have Cancer energy coming in with the moon as well, all right? This could even be a message from a Cancer, okay? Because we had this Chariot in reverse. It's possible. All right, let's see. Let me do a cut the deck here and see what we got. Could be a message from a mother. Justice says makes truth known and innocent to prevail. So Libra energy coming through. And with that, we have the 10 of Cups. Divine warrior confounds the wicked, brings victory and peace. Okay, so there is some justice that is being enacted in this situation. And it's something about a message that's revealed that kind of like saves the day. It's a detail. It's a detail, but it brings about a rectification. It helps peace be resolved in a situation where there was a lot of conflict, and it might even preserve a home. Okay, so there could be something foundational here that's at risk of being lost, and it's being balanced out with whatever this is. And it might even be something for some of you that could protect you from some kind of like legal action in a situation as well. So if that's something that's been hanging over you, or you've been worried about that, or you've been involved in any kind of court case, there does look like there's something being revealed here that comes through, and it brings about justice. It brings about peace, maybe peace within a home, peace for a family. Something is stabilized here, okay? There's something that comes in here that brings true alignment. And it's interesting the way that's also kind of harmonizing with that message that came in around Shankella Robinson. So I find that very interesting, okay? So it's sort of one of these things where it's like, look, you know, things are moving in the way they need to move. And you may have been wanting to call something in, or you may feel like something needs to move according to your timing, or that you know all the details of a situation. It's like, not so fast. There's a little detail here that you are not aware of. And everything hinges on this. And it is the key that kind of like saves your hide. That's what I got. By you holding up from taking a particular action, once this is revealed to you, you'll be like, woo, I dodged a bullet there. Because if I would have taken action without first knowing about this, I'd be in real hot water right now. That's what I got, okay? So just chill out a little bit, okay? Don't make any hasty choices here. Do what you can to temper what you're feeling, you know? It's interesting because I also had come in for you, Green Man. So I do feel like nature is really calling you. The trees are really calling you. You know, go ground out your energy. Make sure you're spending lots of time in natural environments that ground you out. This is important, okay? All right, next we're going to check out what is the empowerment that's available to you on the other side here. Let me just get these out of the way. What is the empowerment that's on the other side of that door of initiation that will be clear to you by that mirror moon? In Libra, the Hunter's moon, super moon, that will be coming on October 17th. That's when all the lights will be on in the room. So let's see. I mean, it looks like you're going to make your way through the closing of this cycle. I see that. And it's sort of like a saved by the bell kind of message here. You find something out last minute that will make you feel relieved that you didn't take a particular action you were considering strongly, because if you would have acted out of desperation, you would have ended up with egg on your face. That's how it's coming through, okay? So there's something here that saves your butt. That's something to be real grateful for. It looks like it's something that could potentially save you from legal hassle as well, I have to say. That kind of coming through. And it does preserve some kind of happiness within a family, within a social group. Ted said yes for the family. Okay, so there could be some healing, resolution happening within a family dynamic, some kind of healing happening in a home with a loved one, with your romantic partner here. Okay. What do we got? Okay, so the empowerment comes in some kind of trade here, okay? And what I'm really getting with this, with the 8 of Earth here for trade, is yes, I feel like this has something to do with your work, some kind of new direction that you're going to be investing a lot of your time and energy in, that's going to be giving you a solid financial foundation for your future. I feel that. I also feel like with it being your trade, this is like your craft. This is work that you enjoy. It's work that's fulfilling for you. And I do see it being prosperous for you. I also feel like it's going to give you some kind of mobility concerning your work as well. It allows you to have more freedom. You don't feel like you're penned in. You don't feel like you have to play by anyone else's rules. For some of you, this is a business of your own, and being freed up from this old cycle and whatever this mess was, and it might have even been something you were trying to develop that just, it wasn't going anywhere, and you just needed time to kind of sink into yourself and find your own coordinates and not feel like you were racing against anybody else to achieve a certain measure of success or something along these lines, for you to kind of really come into your own element in terms of a career direction for yourself. But I do see it taking off, and there is something around mobility. Like, this is work you can take with you anywhere. This is work you may bring to farmers markets as well, or like some kind of showcasing event, art gallery, things like this, okay? But I do see this really taking off here for you, and I think it's going to feel good. I also feel with this trade message coming in, it's also speaking a bit of balancing something out, a situation where there was a bit of imbalance, because you are the house of karma, okay? So there's something here where there's been a karmic balancing out that's giving you like a clean slate for moving forward. And I think you're going to feel super empowered as you step into that new cycle, when you realize how much you just like put down that was actually really burdening for you. So let's see where else this empowerment is coming in for you, Pisces. What is the empowerment on the other side of this gateway of initiation that really starts to become evident for Pisces with that October 17th Hunter's Moon in Libra? What is this empowerment coming into Pisces? Ah, interesting. It landed as sort of like a crossing card across that Justice with the Ten of Cups. So it's something in relation to this. Ooh, Earth family here. I see that you're getting your coordinates. So you've been dealing with some trickster medicine here. You could have been dealing with an Earth sign energy too, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You might have been going through some kind of initiation. You might have been studying some kind of earth-based spirituality. I do feel like you've been on a spiritual quest of sorts, whether you would outwardly call it that or identify it as that. But most Pisces are tapped into their spiritual nature. So I do feel like what you've been going through has been a spiritual initiation, even if it feels like it's something that's just going down in day-to-day life in the mundane world. Spirit's always found in the marketplace, and you know that. But I do feel like you had a little coyote medicine operating here where you were chasing your own tail. You may have been thinking that you were facing off with an opponent, a nemesis, but it was actually the trickster within you that was taking you on this journey of understanding different layers of yourself. I see almost like a spiraling downward, because you see that arrow is pointed toward the shadow. And remember, you're trying to sort of grasp for the light now. I feel like as you start to grasp more toward the light, those coordinates are going to get on lock, especially with that October 17th supermoon in Libra that comes in. I feel like you're going to line up this arrow with the middle way, where instead of being too much in the south node, holding on to the energy of the past and what is being released and trying to alter that. There's something about trying to alter that or spin something around that. Could be a narrative, or it could be just holding on to an outcome that is heading south fast. It's coming through as something that should have been transformed a long time ago, but it's been in a holding pattern here. As you start to reach more for the light, it's like it pulls the arrow back into proper alignment, which is the middle way, where you can hold both shadow and light in tandem. So, you know, when we're too much in the light as well, it can be imbalanced. We can see things too optimistically. We can look at things unrealistically. We can be too greedy, too hungry for advancement, and not consider some of the more shadowy aspects of a situation because we just want what we want when we want it. That's when we're really in that 9 of Cups energy where we have a certain wish we want fulfilled, and it can only be fulfilled this way. And also, if you've ever been in a situation where maybe you're in the same field as somebody and you're seeing them kind of like move ahead and you're wondering, well, like, what about me? How come I'm still back here and I'm not progressing at the same rate? Whenever we start to do that contrast and compare thing too, it puts us in that sort of polarized state where there's no way we can like hit the mark. And I do see that that's what you need, this focal point where you're taking the best of the shadow, in other words, that which germinates the seed so it actually can produce something, and taking the best of the light, in other words, looking at what actions can I take right now, and sort of seeing the gifts even in the murkier situations, the more challenging situations. What came through that box of darkness you were gifted, you know? There is a balance you're finding here. And I do feel like you're gaining some kind of medicine here. In fact, it might be quite empowering for you to make a medicine bundle. There's a message that came in yesterday. I released it late last night. It's about a treasure hunt. And I do feel like you're being asked to put together a medicine bundle. Maybe when you're out and you're spending time in nature, things that you come across, it can be a special stone or a fallen leaf or maybe a shed, maybe a snake shed, okay? Where you take these things, of course, after asking for permission and feeling out if it feels appropriate, if it is your medicine to take. You know, take these things and keep them in a medicine bundle. There is something here about coming to kind of a culmination point. So I do feel like the time to come where you have to like take a stand to something that maybe had a lot of power over you in the past, it's near. But I think you're going to recognize that there was more that was sort of illusory that was running the show here and kept you kind of going in circles in a situation. In other words, you're learning the lesson that the trickster presented to you. And this is giving you a special medicine here. That's quite an empowerment, I have to say. There could also be something about learning here, maybe learning from somebody with indigenous roots, or learning something in an earth-based tradition as well. There might be something you're looking into there. You might be looking into the teachings of the medicine wheel or some kind of shamanically based practice. Okay, all of these energies coming in. That's quite an empowerment. I'm going to do a cut of the deck to see if there's any more guidance there. Yeah, we got mountain here. So I do feel like you are really having kind of like stand strong and vigilant at this time. But it's giving you a perspective that's taking you above these like clouds of confusion, what was obscuring your view. And I do feel like there's something in that stillness and that place of kind of like getting higher ground where you are going to find the way through in this situation. You might even go on a hike. You might spend some time on a mountaintop. There's something significant that comes through there for you. Look at this, Sky family. So you are aligning directionally here. And I do see you opening up the road. I do see you finally understanding where your North Node is. And look at this, it's beautiful, 2 of fire. And there is somebody here to share it with, okay? So there's some kind of passion that's ignited here. And it is ignited between two. So there's a way through here that you're going to find. This is a beautiful message coming through there. There's something you had to navigate, though, to really align with this soulmate. It was tricky. It may have been the ways that you were tripping up yourself as well, your own fears of really stepping into this. Whatever this is, it looks like it's on lock. That's quite an empowerment here. Ooh, okay. So I was going to ask, what is the magic that will weave through your life as a result of this? And we do have vampire here, okay? And that's that harvest moon back there. It says emotional intelligence. So there might have been something that came through on your moon that you just hosted on the 17th that gave you some kind of clarity about where a draining influence was in your life, or maybe an emotionally manipulative influence. There might have been even a fair amount of seduction here. Okay, something was really alluring. That's the word that's coming through. Okay, so there might have been something that you saw through, you got clarity on, and whatever you saw, that was coming from your emotional intelligence. Okay, it was like your higher consciousness revealed something to you in a particular person, in a situation. All right, let's see, what is the magic that weaves through Pisces life as a result of this empowerment? What is the magic that weaves through Pisces life as a result of this empowerment spirit? What is the magic that weaves through Pisces life as a result of this empowerment spirit? It's interesting. I'm looking out my window here and no spider. So yes, that fits, the message coming through, not a time for action. And there's a little leaf that's held up in the web. So that's something that does need to fall away. That's still kind of like it's being held in a holding pattern. But I do feel like that's going to be cleared out soon because we got storm clouds brewing outside here. Yeah, intuition. Okay. So there's some kind of intuitive gifts that are going to really be activated for you or heightened for you. It may come through scrying, looking into reflective surfaces and using that as sort of your focal point to be able to get your visions coming through. Something that might be really strengthening in you. It could be a new clair that's strengthening in you as well. Maybe you've always gotten your perceptions through clairsentience, just what you're feeling, the energy you're feeling. You could be getting clairvoyance, like actually seeing things play out before your eyes. I also got remote viewing. That may be something that's coming forward for you. Or clairaudience or clairalliance, being able to pick up scent. So I feel like there's some new clair that's coming forward in you. And with that green man energy that came in, I got the more that you spend time like in the woods with trees, the more that will be heightened in you. And I'm all of a sudden like I'm picking up smells of like pine, and I'm smelling like earthen floor, and I'm smelling like mossy smells. So I do feel like clairalliance might be something that's strengthening in you, something that's coming through. That's one of the magics that's going to be weaving through your life. I think you're going to pick up the scent of a trail, okay, where you didn't know what path to follow. You're going to find the way through, okay? So a bit of that wolf medicine being activated in you, which makes sense. Wolf is your Native American birth totem on their zodiac wheel there. So I do feel like that energy is coming in, being able to know the path and trust the path. And if you're really honest with yourself, I think the reason why something hasn't been moving forward is because intuitively you couldn't fully trust a path. Yes, and now you're going to feel, you're going to know, number 22, you're going to know the path that is the beauty path, the path that also brings you into perfect alignment. It looks like alignment with another, and that this is something that will be a building block for your future. I love this. Look at this. And every journey starts with a single step. And this right here is your house. So there is transformation happening here. This is a suitcase. So I do feel like you're on the move here. I do feel like you're packing up all that stuff that was weighing you down in the past. You're choosing to travel light and follow your heart as you're moving forward here. You are focusing on the light. I do feel like there's something you've alchemized here, and it is producing transformation. Remember, you didn't have the wings before. Well, here they are. So there's some new beginning that's coming in here for you. It may also require you to go on a trip, but I feel like you're responsible for kicking this off because you're being put in the loop of something you couldn't see before. And once you're put in the loop, it changes the way that you move forward. The action you take is just one single step, but it opens the road for you. And there's this incredible journey that unfolds there. This always reminds me of a book, okay? So there might be something you're writing here. I got Book of Shadows came in here too, okay? You're closing the book. You're closing the book of shadows, and instead you're choosing to build the light in your life. Some of you were really put in a position where you had to choose. Do I go deeper into the shadow, or do I choose the path of light? Do I choose the path of heart? I feel like you were provoked in that direction, like something really made you question if it made sense to be the only one who seemed to care in a situation anymore. And I think that you're making the right choice here. I also feel like you're going somewhere, and you're going somewhere, and you're going there with someone, or you're meeting somebody when you arrive there. You know what I mean? You're coming into alignment with somebody here. Somebody that's meant to travel with you on this next leg of the journey. Let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got. Yes, beautiful. Cauldron of Dagda. You're obtaining the Cauldron of Dagda. So powerful healing, transformation, emotional healing. Also the masculine, the feminine coming together, the activation point here. There's synergy. There's healing here. It's beautiful. Okay. So where there was conflict, there's transformation, and it's on the other side of what closes. And I feel like what's closing is this desire to just plunge yourself into the fire because of desire. I heard fire and desire, Rick James. Okay. But there's something that's being transformed here. There's an ending that is finally being accepted. Could be in relation to a Scorpio. Whatever this is that's come to pass, it's a temptation. It's something that drew you in repeatedly, even though you got burned every time. And I think you're finally letting it go and having the courage to go through that fire test of truth. Is this able to stand on the other side of this? And I see that whatever you find on the other side is an eternal cycle that begins right here, the moment that you let go.